There's a high civic IQ right out here in this room, but I think there's also a high imagination quotient that you guys possess. And so you're really building the dream for Cleveland. In University Circle specifically, what we're trying to reimagine is a place that is the world-class center of innovation in arts and culture, education, and healthcare. And Eds, Meds, and Arts is our mantra out there. We have had a success story for a better part of a century when we got out of the gates with this Eds and Meds district. As Tim Rubb over the Museum of Art has reminded me over and over, it's also an arts district, and that's what makes us a spectacular niche. The metrics are incredible in your city. When you look at healthcare and a part of that $3 billion portfolio, one of the things you guys want to know is when things are actually going to happen. Our metrics show by 2010 there will be $1.2 billion just from the healthcare industry alone in new development completed by 2010. So 2 years out, we'll have $1.2 billion in new construction done in University Circle in the healthcare market, and that's principally, obviously, the Cleveland Clinic, University Hospital, and the Veterans Administration, which broke ground yesterday on their facility. In the education market, I'm reminded by my friends at Case Western, they bring in $400 million a year in the research-based economy. When Governor Strickland was up here last week talking about Ohio's best bets, when he was talking about bioscience, biomaterials, renewable energies, and logistics, it's all there in the Circle. If that's Ohio's best bet, then University Circle is the state's best bet. In the arts and cultural market, harken back to the Museum of Art, a $350 million ambitious endeavor to which they are halfway through. But we have a spectacular collection of arts and cultural organizations, a dozen strong in University Circle. And I think what makes it most unique and what we're trying to position University Circle as is a destination unto itself where a family from another state could come in and enjoy the Circle just for the simple fact that on any given day they can find anything in the Circle. The exhibits change, the stages change, the music change, and there's very few places in this country where you have this collection within 1 square mile. The only place I ever reference that I've been to in these 50 states is perhaps the Washington, D.C. National Mall. Beyond that, where else has this tight proximity of arts and cultural? So you add up Eds, Meds, and Arts, we are reimagining our city along that platform, and you stack up we'll challenge you to stack up any other city in the country that has such a collection of Eds, Meds, and Arts. Now the challenge really with our building community is how to leverage that into neighborhood revitalization and growth in all of the neighborhoods around us.
Thanks, Chris. There's a lot going on with the institutional investment in the Circle, but there's also a number of community and economic development issues that are really not the responsibility of any particular institution in the Circle. And a number of organizations around the community have realized this and have come together to make additional investment. And in particular, Charter One. Randy, in 2006, Charter One made a commitment to invest over $100 million in economic development in University Circle and its surrounding neighborhoods. But Charter One is also, and I want to make sure I get this right, Charter One is also involved in the collaboration of organizations called the Greater University Circle Initiative. And it's a group of organizations that include Case Western Reserve University, University Hospitals, Cleveland Clinic, VA, UCI, our Neighborhood Progress Incorporated, Cleveland and Gun Foundations, RTA, the City of Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, and I'm sorry if I missed anybody, but it's everybody in the community who really wants to do something about what's going on in the Circle. Can you give us a little bit of background on what, how those initiatives came about and what's been taking place over the last couple of years?
If it's all right, I'll say Princess, and as I refer to you now, if that's okay. But sure, I would be happy to do that. And if I could just take everyone back a few years, Charter One identified the University Circle and everything that Chris has talked about as a tremendous catalyst and an economic engine. And we put a lot of good minds together, many that you've just talked about, and some people within the bank, and we decided to do something that was truly something that would move the needle, something that was sizable and had scale. So what we put together in 2006 was actually a $150 million commitment through low interest loans that would also revitalize the neighborhoods. We wanted to assure through the program that all the economic development that's being talked about, that $3 billion would spill over into the communities that you've outlined as part of our Uptown initiative. And what I'm here and very happy today to announce is that in 2 short years, we have already invested $167 million in that area in just 2 years. So we've greatly exceeded our initial investment. So within that 167 million, we've added up, and I've got a lot of numbers here because we're so proud of them. We've had 23 different grants that today are servicing over 80,000 people in those communities. And that's the backbone of what we believe that goes into the neighborhoods and helps to revitalize. We've done over $20 million in low-interest first mortgages, home improvement loans, revamping some of the communities, some of the retail districts. So it's been a full array of financing and grants and different projects that we believe has really made a big difference. It's taken a little bit more effort than what we originally thought, but by doing that, we believe that it's more comprehensive. It finances the business, it creates jobs, it creates better neighborhoods, better places to live and work within our area. And we think it's a catalyst to not only the University Circle, but for all of Northeast Ohio.
Great. Well, I hope you haven't run out of money yet, Randy, because I have a couple gentlemen over here who are looking for you very shortly to help finance some of these projects. So, and part of the initiative involves the housing and retail development, and these two gentlemen over here are going to do just that. We have Wes, who's already made, again, significant develops in the circle with the Park Lane Villa, and Ari, if you didn't see the plain dealer yesterday, announced the groundbreaking next spring of the cultural, dining, retail, and living in Uptown. So maybe, Wes, starting with you, if you can tell us a little bit about why you chose Cleveland, because you do development around the country, why you chose Cleveland, in particular, the University Circle area, and then Ari, if you can.
Coming from Boca Raton, Florida, the winters up here just are terrific. We first became involved in the city of Cleveland through Arbor Park, which was a 820-unit absolute slum that we were brought in by Fannie Mae, working with the city and HUD to rejuvenate and turn into probably the best quality affordable housing, low-income housing in probably the country, but it's certainly Northeast Ohio. While we're working on that, as the story goes, and it gets better with age, a certain young lady named Linda Hudacek at the time kidnapped me and drove me out to University Circle that I did not know existed, and said, look at this low-income housing project called Park Lane Villa. It's got all the problems that you had in Arbor Park, and we'd really like your input on it. And I looked at that, and it was Mayor Campbell's administration, and what we saw was something different. We did a lot of research. When I say we, while I'm sitting up here today, if I have 1 second, Bob James, who really heads up our development, and the queen of Park Lane on my left, your right, Christina Roletto, who takes care of the operations and the construction, and they're really the people who should get most of the credit for this. But we looked at it, and everybody's talking low-income housing. And I'm driving and walking around University Circle and the parks and the institutions and the hospitals, and I'm going, this is beautiful. This is Central Park. Little did I know, it was the same guy. We came up with a plan to turn it into very high-end housing. Historic tax credits helped. National City Bank helped a lot at a time when everybody said, you're crazy. Michael, we've proven that you weren't crazy. But we knew we had to build something over and above anything else in the city of Cleveland. And with Terry Hamilton, who Chris is your predecessor, helped us out a lot to do that. And we worked with city architecture to come up with a plan, and we built the absolute best product. Everything from sound insulation in every wall, in every unit, flat screen TVs that actually don't fall off the walls, 24/7 security, concierge, covered parking, because we knew whoever was going to move in here was going to be a trailblazer, and it was a risk. I am, quite candidly, I'm thrilled what Ari's doing, because we need the residential infrastructure in University Circle. But the interesting thing, what we ended up doing, we actually stole from a University Circle Incorporated study done back in 2000 called Shaping the Future. They laid everything out. The interesting part that it took an out-of-towner to see this. And even more interesting is that when you look at the rent roll at Park Lane today, and we get, our lowest rent I think is $950 a month, and we go up to $3,500 a month in rent. And to my lenders out here, by the way, it's higher than we projected.